Hey YouTube, Noble Guardian here with some very exciting news pertaining to the upcoming Fallout 4 game. Okay, let's get right to it. So, the first thing we see in the trailer is a throwback. It starts out on a close-up TV screen, which displays like the classic old Indian test like head pattern thing, just like the one we saw in the countdown earlier this week on one of my previous videos. But then as the camera sort of pans around the room, you can see that it's in a 1950s style Fallout sort of type house. If you are a huge Fallout fan like me, you'll know that this sort of ties back to Fallout 1's intro, which coincidentally has a quite similar shot as the new Fallout 4 trailer. So let's go ahead and get started in watching the trailer, and maybe I can point a few things out as we watch. So as I said earlier, it starts with the please stand by old-fashioned test pattern for old TVs, and as it zooms out you can see it's sort of a retro-looking 1950s TV in sort of a old beat-up house, sort of run down. You've got the plants growing in the window and all that stuff in the old car, and you think, oh, this is going to be okay, just the classic Fallout intro, but then it starts to phase back to pre-war and then back to post-war. Then we see a dog who appears, who looks a lot like Dogmeat, which has actually appeared in every single Fallout game since the first one as a reference to Mad Max, but I digress. So at this point, Dogmeat is just sort of sniffing around, walking through the house, and he eventually reaches a baby's room, and here is another flashback coming up right here with like a small family of 3, and they're just waiting, and there's another radio broadcast which appears to be a signal of somebody trying to reach some sort of stations that are obviously unresponsive, and Dogmeat hears a siren and he's running through the city, and we're treated with even more flashbacks of people trying to get into Vault-Tec and everything, and the iconic War Never Changes thing. It just played. Now we know it's Boston because there's the USS Constitution, and there was also pictures of Bunker Hill, and so it looks like Deathclaws are back as well, and the ghouls. There are also iBots, which means Fallout 4 probably has some sort of government influence in it or something. And there we can see the Paul Revere Monument in Boston, and now it looks like the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm not sure, it could be the Enclave too. And then there's just shots of the city, and there's another, the last flashback is that of the nuclear bomb just destroying everything. Now we see Dogmeat sort of sniffing around, you know, going back to what appears to be his home. Now there are a few things here. So one, it looks like bobbleheads are back, and there's also a variety of energy weapons too. So this is the closing scene where the playable character, I guess, and Dogmeat are walking off into the sunset. So yeah, there's still a little bit more we haven't covered, like the back of the character's jumpsuit says 111, so maybe, just maybe, our playable characters from Vault 111. And this trailer really put a lot of importance on the dog, so that will probably be one of the companions in the game. Or maybe they'll totally change up the pace and let you play as the dog. Who knows? It's Fallout. They might be taking a totally different stance on it. And I'm really excited to see Boston in the game because one of my favorite quests from Fallout 3 was called The Replicated Man, and it talked all about Boston and the Commonwealth, and it also included parts about the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, And I quote directly from the Fallout Wikipedia. The institute existed long before the Great War, but was originally known as the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It is known that Robert House attended the institute in his youth. After the Great War, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology survived but became known to the people of the wasteland as a secretive organization known only as the Institute. Allegedly, it is currently located within the Commonwealth, the name now given in the post-atomic world to what was once the American state of Massachusetts. Little is known about the Institute aside from rumors circulating around the scientists working in the sealed environment. The Institute possesses highly advanced technology and technological skills, resulting in the creation of true artificial intelligence and capable of creating androids, which, as I was saying, is part of a quest where you go to Rivet City, the ship city thing, and you talk to this man named Dr. Zimmerman, who's in the lab just sort of sitting there with Dr. Lee, and he hires you to go out and find his missing android. And you can talk with him and ask him about the Commonwealth in Massachusetts, and he'll tell you all about it. And I think it will be sort of cool to visit the place that you sort of asked him about in Fallout 3, and you can sort of see for yourself what it's like. So this concludes my Fallout 4 breakdown trailer video. I'm going to try and get a few more videos out lately. I've been really busy with school, so, finals coming up and all that stuff. So please rate, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed.